The road ran thin past the cottonwood bend, with grass up to my knees. A red wing called like an old lost friend from the wire above the weeds. The sun slipped low on the western plain, dust rose soft and brown, and all I carried of my name was the sound of leaving town. Camped by the creek where the stones lay bare, with a small fire breathing low. Smoke climbed up through the evening air like a thing I used to know. Thought of the yard where I first learned time by shadows on the wall. How the hills looked close when I was 9, now they hardly end at all. The trail don't say what it means to be lost or almost found. It only bends through the cedar trees and keeps close to the ground. So let the wide fields wear me down. Let this slow road turn me kind. Where the firelight fades on the edge of town, I leave my old shape behind. If meaning comes, let it come like rain. Through dust, through grass, through open plain. Off by the lantern flame, then vanished in the dark. Some things go on without a name. Some lights become a spark. So let the wide fields wear me down. Let the slow road turn me kind. If meaning comes, let it come like rain. Through dust, through grass, through open plain. Past the cedar fence where the long grass leaned, the driveway faded into clay. Took a little bread in a dented canteen, then followed the fence post away. The pines kept time with a soft green hand. Creek stones shone in the sun. Every step through that open land sounded like leaving begun. By a small fire low in a ring of stone, smoke climbed thin as prayer. Thought of the house with the screen door grown and my name still hanging there. Fields went gold on the far hillside. Dust lay soft on the road. All the years I tried to hide rose like sparks from the coals. Maybe growing up is a quiet bend, no thunder, no sign. just the trail running past childhood's end, and the dark turning kind. Carry me slow where the porch light ends, down by the grass and the stone. Teach my tired heart how the road makes friends with every mile alone. If I am small, let the hills be wide and leave me room to grow inside. The oaks don't ask what I believe, they only hold their ground, and every doubt that walks with me gets softer with the sounds. Carry me slow where the porch light ends, down by the grass and the stone. Teach my tired heart how the road makes friends with every mile alone.
The garden path behind the rented room ran past the fence and clay. Tomato vines in a coffee can leaned hard over the day. A train went low beyond the hill, then faded out of sound. And for the first time in a year, my feet stayed on the ground. The landlord left a broken rake beside the cedar shed. I pulled the weeds till evening came, with soil beneath my nails. The road out west was calling still, all dust and open air, but the swallows cut the quiet field like I already lived there. No bright voice told me what to choose, no sign rose from the lane, just beans on strings and muddy shoes and my own breath again. I have run from every porch light, every field that knew my face, but this small yard in the late light doesn't ask me to be brave. Let the wild grass take the fence line, let the far hills keep their blue. I'm learning how to stay here without needing to be moved. At dusk I lit a careful fire in the ring of river stone. Watch the smoke climb through the briars like a letter going home. The moon hung thin above the beams, not lonely, not divine, just a pale cup over everything I had no need to find. Neighbor's dog barked down the road, then quiet filled the trees. I set the rake back where it goes, let the silence speak. I have run from every porch light, every field that knew my face, but this small yard in the late light doesn't ask me to be brave. Let the wild grass take the fence line, let the far hills keep their blue. I'm learning how to stay here without needing to be moved. Soft thunder heard it leave the county line and did not call my name. I have run from every porch light, every field that knew my face, but this small yard in the late light has given me a place.
The railroad bed runs west of town, through switchgrass, dust, and thorn. The ties lie dark and half sunk down, where freight trains used to mourn. My pack is light, my shadow long, the sun on every blade, and every mile I walk along asks what I meant to say. Cattle tamed by the cottonwoods holds dragonflies and sky. I drank where the rusted hand pump stood, like I did at 17. Back then I thought the far-off ridge would tell me who to be. Now silence waits beyond the bridge and asks much less of me. No whistle comes, no engine cries, no iron shakes the plain. Just grasshoppers, an open sky, and dust that knows my name. Let the old rails lose their shine, let the tall grass take the track. I don't need to cross some line to know it's not a door to close, it's a road the wild seed grows. By dusk I made a little flame where the great met open land. Watch smoke rise without a name and leave my empty hands. Let the old rails lose their shine, the tall grass take the track. I don't need to cross some line to know I can't go back, to know I can't go back.
The ridge trail cut through the juniper shade, past yucca dust and thorn. A lizard flash where the sunlight lay, his hands on the Yellowstone. My canteen knocked with a hollow sound, my boots took the harder climb, and the valley kept opening farther out.
like it at all the time. There's a rusted box by the survey tree with a pencil tied on twine, where strangers leave what they came to see. In crooked little lines I wrote my name, then crossed it once, then wrote it clear again. Not for the world, not for anyone, just to know where I had been. No bright truth rose from the desert floor, no voice came down the grade, just one hawk turning above the gorge, and my shadow learning shade. Let the far hills take what I can't say, let the low brush hold the wind. I have spent so long walking away from the place I carry within. If peace is only a mile of ground where I stop trying to be found, let me lay my wanting down. On the canyon rim, soft red over sand and pine, and the old hurt sounded less like a hymn, more like a passing sign. Let the far hills take what I can't say, let the low brush hold the wind. If peace is only a mile of let me lay my warning down. Fire roll winds where the sweet grass bends past the mag stone and sand. My shadow walks like an old close friend with a map in its empty hand. The valley opens green and white with fence posts leaning low, and every question I carry inside moves slower than I know. At a campsite ring by the cottonwood trees, I found our coffee tin, half full of ash and cedar leaves, with the beetles sleeping in. My father used to point past the pines and call the dark by name. Said some small lights take their time before they turn to flame. And no answer came from the far off ridge, no thunder crossed the plain. Just my breath and the old creek bridge and dust on my window pane. Let the quiet have a louder part, let the hills say what they will. I have been running from my own heart, now I'm learning to be still. If meaning comes like a match in rain, let it burn low and remain.
And I set that old tin gently down and walked back less alone. Let the quiet have the louder part. Let the hills say what they will. I have been running from my own heart. Now I am learning to be still.
The trail behind the orchard wall still bends the way it did, past blackberry thorns and the rusted saw we buried as kids. The grass grew high where the shed once stood, the roof gone thin and brown, and every robin in the wood sang like a hand-me-down. I found our names in the sycamore bark, half swallowed by the grain. A crooked line and a little heart cut shallow after rain. The hill looks smaller than memory made. The creek ran low and clear, and all the games we used to play were quiet enough to hear. No one tells you in a place, let's go. No bell rings through the trees, just dust on your cuffs and a sunset low and a softer way to leave. Let the old path fade if it needs to fade. Let the wild grass cover the track. I can love what the young hands made without asking for it back. Time keeps walking the fence line through, but the ground still knows what we grew into. A fox crossed slow where the garden lay, then vanished down the lane. Some things leave in their own small way, some things learn a different name. Let the old path fade if it needs to fade. Let the wild grass cover the track. I can love what the young hands made without asking for it back.
canal path runs by the cottonwood road, where the brown reeds lean and sigh. My pack rides light and my steps move slow under a wide blue sky. A turtle slides from a sun-warmed stone, rings spread thin and bright, and all the things I thought I owned feel smaller in the light. By noon I reach the log house wall, with moss along the seam. Ate bread and pears while the blackbirds call from willows by the stream. The old lock gate had a rusted chain half buried in the clay, like every prayer I could not name but carried anyway. No chapel bell, no answer clear, no hand across the blue. Just wind in the grass and the water near, doing what water will do. Let the long banks teach me to bend, let the still pond show me the sky. I don't need the road to end to know I'm passing by. If doubt is a stone I learn to hold, let the river make it smooth, not gold. The heron's wings slow over mud and reed, and I felt no need to name the thing that walked the path with me. Let the long banks teach me to bend, let the still pond show me the sky. If doubt is a stone I learn to hold, let the river make it smooth.
Trail ran past the blueberry canes where the camp road used to start. Red dust rose in quiet waves and settled on my heart. The pines stood tall by the broken signs, sap drying in the sun, and every shadow crossed the line between the child and grown-up one. A fire ring slept in a crown of stones with grass between the cracks. I brushed the ash with my thumb alone and felt the years look back. The lake below held a copper light, one heron lifting slow, like some old prayer I left behind but never quite let go. No hymn came clear through the cedar trees, no answer filled the air, just my own breath and the turning leaves and the feeling sun. a coal in rain. Leave it burning just the same.
At the bus stop past the hayfield road, with the morning coming pale, you kept one hand on your canvas coat, one hand around the rail. The town sit low behind the trees, all roofs and rusted signs, and every mile of open green looked bigger than goodbye. Your sister packed you applesauce in a jar with masking tape. Said call me when the signal's lost somewhere past the lake. You laughed because the words felt kind and stared down at your shoes. Some folks leave to save their mind, not cause they want to lose. The bus came carving up the gray dust rising round its side. You touched the fence where you once played and let your road name slide. No thunder rolled, no choir sang, no sign above the pines. Just the driver calling out your lane and daylight on the line. Take the long way, take it slow. Let the fields fall out of you. Not every leaving has to know what it is running to. You can miss the place that made you wait. You can bless it through the glass. Some hearts don't break when they finally break from the shadows of the past. By noon the hills were soft and wide, the windows full of grain. A little creek kept flashing bright, then disappeared again. You opened up your sister's jar, ate 2 bites with a spoon, and watched the town get small and far beneath the climbing noon. The road kept bending west by west, past silos, farms and stone. You laid your head against your chest and let yourself be known. Not brave enough to never grieve, not lost enough to stay. Just tired of asking no rooms to leave the light on every day. Take the long way, jar rolled gently in your bag, the spoon rang soft inside, like some small bell you almost had when you were still a child. Take the long way, take it slow. Let the fields fall out of you. You can't miss the place that made you wake and still believing true.
Sheep trail fades where the cliff grass bends above the ferry road, with gulls out past the headlands and time between the stones. My brother's kite string cut my thumb. The summer we turned 10. Now the same old wind comes running up like it remembers when. The lighthouse path is cracked with weeds, the paint is chipped and thin. Keeper's bell, the salt there seized, hangs quiet in the wind. I found the mark we scratched in stone, 2 arrows and a year. Then traced it once and let it go without keeping it near. No voice rose out of the harbor mouth, no sign broke through the blue, just the tide pulling its long breath out like it had work to do. Let the headland hold what I can't hold. Let the wild grass cover the scar. I don't need the past to turn to gold to know it made me who we are. Some days leave like birds from stone, some days stay and walk us home. A fishing boat moved far below, small as a match in haze. And all the years I thought I'd know kept shifting in the waves. The sun went red through the lantern glass, the shadows crossed the lane. And I was not the child I was, but I could say his name. A rabbit ran through the fennel seed, then vanished down the wall. The silence didn't answer me, but it didn't hurt at all. Let the headland hold what I can't hold. Let the wild grass cover the scar. I don't need the past to turn to gold to know it made me who we are. Some days leave like birds from stone, some days stay and walk us home. The kite string's gone, the mark is worn, the fairy light burns low. I walk back down through dust and thorn with less I had to know. Let the headland hold what I can't hold. stay where we are.
The backstop leaned by the old school field with vines through every seam, where chalk lines faded and a red dirt healed the shape of every team. A swallow dipped by the broken gate, grass brushed my dusty knees, and all the boys I used to chase were names inside the trees. The classroom windows were boarded brown, one pane still holding light. The flagpole rope made a tired sound against the pole's bare side. I found the stump where we used to sit, split peaches with a knife, and laughed it out. We swore back then we'd outrun all our lives. The hill behind the playground rose wide as a held-back word, and every place I thought I'd know felt stranger when it stirred. Don't call me back to who I was, don't make the young years stay. The creek runs low through weeds and dust, but it still knows the way I came to ask what time had done, what it took and what it gave, and heard the field say, child, run on, but bless the ground you leave. Bleachers bowed in the evening heat, paint curled under my hand. A jar of rain beside my feet had greened with summer sand. The road past town shone copper red, then bent behind the grain. And something small my childhood said came walking back again. No choir rose, no answer fell, no bright and easy line, just crickets under the rusty bell, keeping their own time. Don't call me back to who I was, don't make the young years stay. The creek runs low through weeds and dust, but it still knows the way I came to ask what time had done, what it took and what it gave, and heard the field say, child, run on, but bless the ground you leave. The sun went down past the teacher's lot, soft gold on the chain link wire. I left one peach pit where we forgot how fast we'd grow tired. Don't call me back to who I was, don't make the young years stay. The creek runs low through weeds and dust, but it still knows the way.
Past the quarry path where the cedars lean, the red clay holds the heat. Grasshoppers jump through the yellow green, and dust lifts round my feet. turkey vulture circles wide above the broken lane. And every hill I used to climb looks smaller, not the same. There's a flat stone under the sycamore root where I carved my age in threes. Left it there with a bottle cap moon and a pocket full of leaves. Now the creek runs thin through the open shade, slow over amber sand. Like time forgot the plans we made, but kept them close at hand. No one answers from the far tree line. No voice comes through the grass. Just the low sun taking its patient time with everything that passed. So I won't ask the old days to stay, or call the young years mine. The trail keeps wearing itself away, and still it knows the line. What I lost is not all gone. It changed its shape and carried on. Steps out where the fence posts and then fades into the cane. Some things leave like a quiet friend, some things leave and remain. So I won't ask the old days to stay, or call the young years mine. What I lost is not all gone. It changed its shape and carried on.
And the trail went soft where the fern shade grew, and then the pine sap marked my sleeve. A brown creek carried a sky half blue through the roots and the leaves. Kept no map but the hawk overhead, kept no cloud but the sun. All the words I never said walked slower, one by one. By a firing black from 100 names, I set my pack on stone, watched thin smoke loosen its silver frame, and climbed the dark alone. The hills stood wide with their quiet weight, no answer, no command, just crickets singing beyond the gate and dust on my open hand. Maybe the soul is a field at dusk, not empty, only wide, where doubt lies down and the tall grass hush and lets the light inside. Let the stillness the cedar height. No voice called through the flame, but the stars lean close in the thinning light, and something in me changed. Let the stillness take its time. Let the trail bend out of you. The ground says stay, oh, and the fire says go. And the heart learns bold when it walks this slow.
At the trailhead past the quarry pond, where the switchgrass hit the stone, your old blue cap was hanging on the cedar branch alone. I took it down and brushed the brim, dust rising in the light, then walked the ridge we walked as kids, when the world still felt white. The valley opened green and long, with barns like matchbox walls. A tractor coughed and moved along below the turkey calls. You always ran ahead of me, bare heels brown with clay. Now every bend through oak and weed kept giving you away. The sun went slow through the taller grass. No answer crossed the hill. Just my own breath coming back, and the creek below it still. I won't make a shrine of the road we knew, won't ask the past to speak, but I'll carry the dust that carried you on the laces of my feet. Some names stay close, some voices thin like smoke above the pines, but the wildland keeps letting me in, one step at a time. By the fire ring near the lookout stone, I set the blue cap down, watch sparks climb up, then disappear without a word or sound. The hills did not explain a thing, the stars did not pretend, but the night had room for remembering without pulling me back in. A barred owl called from the hollow shade, then silence took its place. I let the fire fall away and did not hide my face. I won't make a shrine of the road we knew, won't ask the past to speak, but I'll carry the dust that carried you on the laces of my feet. Some names stay close, some voices thin like smoke above the pines, but the wildland keeps letting me in, one step at a time. At morning light crossed the quarry pond, soft gold over the stone. I left the cap where it belonged and walked back down alone. I won't make a shrine of the road we knew, won't ask the past to speak, but I'll carry the dust that carried you on the laces of my feet.
The hood was up on the gravel rise, by the pasture turning gold. Your hands were black from the engine grind, my coffee had gone cold. The fence line leaned where the thistles grew, cicadas filled the heat, and neither one of us could choose the first true thing to speak. Dad's old truck had a stubborn cough, same as it did back then. He tapped the wrench, then turned it off, and counted to 10 again. The barn threw shade on the oil-stained ground, swallows cut the air, and all the words we pushed back down were standing with us there. Say it plain, say it low, let the dust come rolling through. We don't have to fix what broke to make some room for truth. If the road stays rough and the fields stay wide, sit with me on the Fender side. You said I kept the house too long, like a stone you had to move. I said I learned to sound real strong when I was scared of you. A crow called out from the cedar rail, the sky went copper red, and something old began to fail without a door being slammed. Say it plain, say it low, let the dust come rolling through. We don't have to fix what broke to make some room for truth. If the road stays rough and the fields stay wide, sit with me on the Fender side. Socket slipped, you laughed at last. A tired, crooked sound, the kind that lets a hard year pass without laying it all down. We watched the headlights catch the lane, dust rising soft and slow. Not everything comes clean again, but some things start to show. Say it plain, say it low, let the dust come rolling through. We don't have to fix what broke to make some room for truth. If the road stays rough and the fields stay wide, sit with me on the Fender side. The truck still missed when you turned the key, but it held enough to run. You let me drive past the maple trees toward the last low sun.
Footpath climbed by the fire tower stairs, through sweet grass, dust and pine. A blue jay called from the open air, like a bell from another time. My old tin compass had lost its way, still warm inside my hand. So I followed the light through the cedar shade and trusted the leaning land. Oh, 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 oh. just the grass moving slow where the warm winds go, and the world still asking why. Let me be small on the high hill ground, with stone in my palm and dust on my jeans. I came for a sign, but I only found the space between wanting and what it means. If doubt is the trail and faith is the flame, let both of them call me by name. The tower stairs shook in the evening light. A hawk turned once, then flew, and something I could not make right felt honest, almost true. Let me be small on the high hill ground, with stone in my palm and dust on my jeans. I came for a sign, but I only found the space between wanting and what it means. The cattle path split through the blue stem grass, past a well gone dry and deep. A meadowlark grows where the shadows passed, like a thought I could not keep. My shirt held smoke from the fire last night. My boots held red-brown clay, and the whole wide hill in the morning light had nothing loud to say. There's a windmill still by the county line, with one bent silver blade. It turns half slow when the weather is kind, then stops in the open shade. I sat below with a crust of bread, watched ants cross over stone, and all the questions in my head grew tired of being known. No road sign pointed to peace of mind, no voice came through the blue, just the grass leaning on one side, like it had doubts too. Let the white land lower me down, let the dust rise soft and fall. I came out here to be found, but maybe not at all. If meaning is a wind I can't hold, let it move through my hands and go. By dusk, the fire was a little red-eyed, hills turn dark and plain. A nighthawk crossed the fading sky, and nothing had to explain. Let the white land lower me down, let the dust rise soft and fall. I came out here to be found, but maybe not at all. Let the white land lower me down, let the dust rise soft and fall. If meaning is a wind I can't hold, let it move through my hands and go. The screen door side in your mother's hand, paint peeling soft from the frame, boxes lined up by the kitchen stand, each one marked with a name. Your father's coat on the hallway nail still smell like cedar and rain. You folded it slow, let the silence prevail, then laid it down again. The truck was back by the garden gate, taillights red in the dust. Your brother said we don't have to stay, and neither one of us looked at the house when the porch boards creaked, or the curtains moved inside. Some rooms can hold what the heart can't speak, some love must step aside. Leave the key where the daylight falls, under the jar by the stove. Say goodbye to the cracked white walls, not to the ones you love. A house can keep the marks we made, the nail holes and the flame, but it can't make the years behave or call us back the same. Split in two, one half green, one half gone. Like all the things we thought we knew, still trying to grow on. Your mother's Bible was boxed with twine, the ribbon frayed and thin. You touched the spine and changed your mind, and left the bookmark in. By evening fields gave back the heat, crows pull low through the grain. The county road beneath our feet kept losing our last name. No one cried till the river bent, where the old bridge hung below. Then you said leaving is not the end of loving what we know. Leave the key where the daylight falls, under the jar by the stove. Say goodbye to the cracked white walls, not to the ones you love. A house can keep the marks we made, the nail holes and the flame, but it can't make the years behave or call us back the same. We drove past town without a word, past the church and the feed store sign. The bell rang once and all we heard was mercy taking time. Leave the key where the daylight falls, under the jar by the stove. Say goodbye to the cracked white walls, not to the ones you love.
pump house where the pasture leans, sparrows stitch the air. Childhood runs through the broom grass green like it's still waiting there. The trail turns brown by the cattle wire, then opens into green. Every stone remembers fire, every gate remembers rain. Camped on the ridge with a low flame lit smoke in a cedar line. The creek said more than I could admit and took its patient time. Fields went white in the evening glow, hills held back the day. All the years I thought I'd know kept walking farther away. No bell rang out, no bright sign came, just wind through the grass and pine. But the quiet ground knew my given name better than I knew mine. Let me be small where the long fields rise, dust on my hands and stone in my shoes. The road keeps telling the old hills why we gain a little more than we lose. If home is a light that won't stay the same, leave me where the gate learned my name. Stars looked hard and plain. What I let go did not let go, it only changed its shape. Let me be small where the long fields rise, dust on my hands and stone in my shoes. If home is a light that won't stay the same, leave me where the gate learned my name.